Hello friends, this is Tane aka Skeletane here on Everquest Legends. Yes, indeed, we are on the Everquest Legends beta server. And if you are watching this video, which I'm sure many of you are, you now know that I have been playing Everquest Legends beta, for a short period of time now. Although if I show you what I have, you may not think it's short. So you'll notice my little necromancer here looks a little bit different standing in Neriak. Yeah, he's got a sword in his hand and he's got plate armor on. What is going on with that? So, boy, there's a lot to tell you. There's a lot to share, and I'm sure a lot of you are dying to know who are not in the beta. And of course, as you know, those of us in the beta were under NDA. We can't talk about it, but now we can. So I'm going to. I have so much to share with you. I can't share it all. There's no possible way that I could share all of the things in one video. So we're going to have to make it many videos. And I think the best way to do that is to experience the game together with everyone. And so let me show you what I've got here. I'm going to reveal my UI. So here's my very busy UI, much different than Quarm. And now some of you who play on the EverQuest TLP servers, on Daybreak official servers, you may recognize quite a few of these elements because they are probably very familiar. But for me, coming from Project Quarm, they are not familiar. So I had to learn all sorts of new things because I have never played on the TLP servers. I haven't played on any of the modern EverQuest servers that Daybreak has provided. Last time I played EverQuest live was back in 2004. So it's been a long time since I've played on an actual live official server. This is my first in that many years. So I've got all sorts of things to catch up on, which I have been doing. If those of you are looking very closely, you will notice that my character is level 50. Yes, I level capped Skeletane on EQ Legends before I level capped Skeletane on Quarm. I know. But we're still working on Skeletane on Quarm. Don't worry, that journey isn't ending. So, although if you do look at level 50, I did reach level 50 first on Quarm. If we're just going to stop at 50, right? But if we're talking about capping, sure. And given, it is much easier to level cap on EverQuest Legends, as you will soon find out. So you'll see I have a Necromancer, Paladin, Shaman. That is the route I went. I didn't look up anyone's other ideas on any theory crafting. I didn't look at what people were suggesting. I came up with what I wanted to build, and that's the beauty of this server. You get to build whatever the heck you want, and it's probably going to be just fine. You don't need to play the meta. You don't need to pick the perfect class combination. You can just pick what you want to play, and it's a whole lot of fun. So let me tell you why I picked the Necromancer, Paladin, and Shaman. Because I was looking for a class that I could be totally solo, self-sufficient, and do almost everything. As we know, the Necromancer is the Swiss Army knife of classes and has so many different wonderful tools in its kit. And then we add in a Paladin. So we've got some tanking ability, we've got some heals, we've got some buffs, we've got more undead things, specifically like the Ghoulbane, Instrument of Knife, and of course the Necromancer already can deal with undead wonderfully, so it's like a good undead slayer. And then I picked the Shaman because I wanted slows, I wanted regen, I wanted heals, bigger heals than the Paladin gets, and of course all of the wonderful buffs. So yeah, that's why I went this route. It's something I figured would be very self-sufficient. Now, I will admit, he's definitely not a DPS monster. He takes a little bit of time to kill things. The Skeletane on here takes a little bit of time, but that's okay. I'm very hard to kill. Although I'm slow, I can take a beating, I can heal, I can life tap. Also, and of course, if it's undead, they get absolutely wrecked. So yeah, pretty big deal. Now, some of your keen eyes are going to catch a whole lot of other things, like I've got tons of hit points, I've got tons of mana, things that don't seem normal for level 50, and that's true. We'll get into those later. I'm not going to try to describe how that works. I can later. You'll just notice that my spell gems are a whole lot longer, and we'll explain about spell gems later too, and how that all works. So, and you'll see I've got all sorts of cool equipment. I've got Mithril Two-Handers +4. I've got Froglock King Crown. I've got the Mithril Rune Tunic. I've got the Dagger of Marnik at 7. I've got the Shining Metallic Robes. I've got all sorts of crazy things. You'll notice there's 2 extra slots here called the Any slots, which we'll talk about those as well. Golden Afridi boots. I've got the Dejarn ring from Dejarn in the Afridi place. He drops the boots too. I can't remember over in Solasec Nagafin's lair. So there's so much here to talk about. Skull-shaped barbute. I've got all sorts of fun things. And of course, in my bag, I've got the Ghoulbane Footman's Blade, which you probably don't recognize. It's kind of a newer item. Maybe it comes from TLPs. Maybe it's found on the newer servers, but it's definitely not an item you're going to find on Quarm. And yeah, there's so much here to talk about. So what I want to do to help cover some of the game with you so that you can learn along with me. I mean, I've learned so much to know about the game, but so that I can describe the systems easier and better to you, is I thought we would create a new loadout. Now you'll see I have some loadouts here already. A Shaman Berserker. I was trying the Berserker out, so I swapped that for the Paladin. And then I also tried out the Warrior and Cleric instead of the Paladin Shaman, Warrior and Cleric. Now the Necromancer part is unchangeable. That is my primary class. You cannot change that after level 10. So once I hit level 10, I confirmed that I'm staying as Necromancer, and I can only swap the other 2, Paladin and Shaman. I can continually rotate. So I was trying these different combinations. And I'll explain how how does that work when you're level 50, what happens when you choose a new class. Well, you can probably see it down here. You'll see that there's levels associated with the different classes you're leveling. Like Warrior and Cleric, I got to 32. The Berserker, I got to 18. Everything else is 10 because I haven't played them. So, but we'll explain that. What I got from reaching level 50 is a primary class unlock token. This little wonderful token lets me unlock a second primary, so I don't have to stay as a Necromancer. If I choose, for example, if I decide I'm going to make a new loadout, meaning I want to switch classes, you hit add and you open up this race class window. I can't change my race because I don't have any race unlock token, so I'm locked to the race I chose. But the classes, I'm locked to my primary class. See, I can't choose anything else, but I can pick 2 different, any combination of these secondary classes. But the primary is locked. So this wonderful primary class unlock token, which I've been waiting to use after reaching level 50, if I use it, it is going to allow me to unlock a second primary, which we're going to do right now. And I've been thinking about this a long time, what I want to do as a second round. Now I know. Everybody, Skeletane, he's a Necromancer. Why aren't you doing that? Well, because I did. I got him in early and I got to level 50, so there wouldn't be much to watch. So let's do something that's new and I haven't done before, or just a weird combo possibly. And I think I'm going to use Bard as my primary class because I'm finding Bard is used in lots of builds on the server. It's very versatile. Many of you who have already know this. It's a versatile class. It's another Swiss Army knife class that can do lots of things. So I think I want to slot that in with something else. So here we go. I'm going to try this and see how it works. So I'm going to choose primary class. Guys, I haven't done this before. This is brand new. Primary class unlock Bard. I want to do that. Select option. Ooh, there we go. We got the achievement for that. And now when we add, ooh, see? We have a second primary. Now you can earn those tokens. I don't really know entirely how to earn those, but you can earn them through different gameplay things, such as getting level 50 allowed me to get that token for free. Now I'm sure they have a store, which is not working right now, but the store, I believe, will have these. It might. I don't know. I'm going to guess. They talked about having microtransactions, probably XP potions, maybe class unlock tokens. I don't know, but there'll definitely be ways to unlock it in doing gameplay, like I did. And then there'll be race unlock tokens too, which I don't know how to get or how to find those. Maybe they're in the game. I still don't know everything about the game. But for now, I'm locked to the Dark Elf. And yeah, so we're going to try Bard as our primary. And I want to choose 2 additional classes. And now this is what I was thinking about. So I like things that are... I liked the self-sustained class, which of the Necromancer Paladin Shaman was very self-sustaining. But I think with a Bard, I think I'm going to go more damage. damage E, something that's really like DPS focused that would benefit from maybe almost glass cannon like benefit from all of the different regens that the bard can provide. Regens for mana, regen for hit points, attack speed boost, you got haste, you got slow on the enemy, you can charm, you can mez. Wonderful utility. So I'm thinking, let's put something in there that might be very DPS like. So something like a rogue would be good. A monk would also be really good. They're very strong DPS class. Rogue and monk are crazy together, but they eat your stamina up really fast because those abilities all use stamina. My stamina is the yellow bar down here. Very heavy stamina user. But I think I was kind of leaning that way. So I'm going to think about this for a few minutes because I haven't decided, but I'm going to decide now. And then I'll be back with you in a few minutes once I've made my final decision. Okay, so I've been thinking about it. I got it figured out. So our primary is going to be Bard now, which you notice, Dark Elves can't be Bards primarily. When you first create your character without doing what I've done with the class unlock, you can't choose a Bard as a Dark Elf. You can only choose the classes that a Dark Elf's allowed to have, which is not a Bard. But with the class unlock token, you can have a race select a class that doesn't fit. So if I, say I played an Ogre or a Troll, and then I leveled them to 50, I got the class unlock token. I could unlock Bard for a Troll or an Ogre as a primary class. Pretty cool. So we're going to choose Bard as our primary. That's going to be our resource generation, sustain, heal, etc. And then I'm going to pick a monk and a warrior. Now, I have leveled the warrior already to 32, but that won't affect anything. So the monk, all it does is just maybe affect some skill gains, which doesn't matter. So the monk, I want to bring, feign death. We've got all the different monk attack abilities, jump kick and round and dragon punch and all flying kick and all those great abilities, DPS abilities. And then the warrior. The warrior brings, of course, tankiness, durability, hit points, and what I'm really interested in is cleave. Now, cleave is an awesome ability, and heroic leap is also cool. So you may not know those, as you'll see some of the buttons down here on my bar from the warrior when I played him. And the cleave is an AoE, like sweeping strike, and it's very strong. It does a lot of damage, especially when you're in striker stance. And I'm going to use that to my advantage here with the monk warrior. Now it's going to blow my endurance out of the water when I use these abilities, because all of the melee abilities you use in the game expend endurance, which is your stamina bar, and not mana. So I'm not going to have much mana to think about because I'm doing pretty much non-mana classes. Bard barely uses mana except in rare cases, and I'm not sure if they do in Classic, because this is only Classic era. There's no Kunark, there's no Velios currently. So this is the combo I want to try. We're going to give it a shot. And here's my plan. Now that we've got these selected, I'm going to save this and we're going to make a loadout. And the way I wanted to do this was to make it a bit of a let's play through this combination that's going to be interesting. Now it's going to start me at level 10, because once you start the game, you start at level 1, and then as you go to 10, then every class you choose afterwards, as you can see, is already level 10. They stay there, but they don't go any higher unless you explicitly level them. So since I've never leveled a monk and I've never leveled a bard, it's going to make my character level 10. Even though my warrior is level 32, it's not going to care about that. It always goes with the lowest level of the three classes, and that's your level. So it's going to make me a level 10. I know some may be like, well, I want to see you start at level 1. I've already sunk so much time into the character now. I'm not going to delete this. I would have to delete this character because I currently cannot make a second character. So I'm only allowed one character on the beta. And so I don't want to delete this character and then have to start it over just to do this. So instead, we're going to start at level 10. And that's good because 1 through 10 is really boring. You can only be 2 classes from level 1 to 10. Once you get to level 10, you can choose your third class. So we're just going to skip that initial, that 1 to 10 is probably one of the slowest parts. It just feels not really slow. It just feels slower. when you don't have any gear, equipment, or anything. So what I'm going to do is switch to this loadout, and I am going to gimp myself a little bit to make it a little more interesting. I'm not going to wear all this really great gear that I have. I'm just going to select a few pieces to have on. I'm not going to use my amazing, awesome Mithril two-hander, which is tremendous. We're going to switch it up, and I'm going to kind of force myself to have to go and find gear again. So let's make this switch right now, and it's going to drop a bunch of stuff into my bags because some of it I can't wear. Okay, I think it saved the loadout. There it is. Okay, here's our Bard Warrior Monk. Let's swap. Bingo. Okay. It strips me of any buffs that I had, which is cool. And now I am now level 10. And that is not right. I have to, I'm level, meditate. Oh, it's giving me achievements for the Bard since I had meditated level 50. It's pulling over some of the stats from my previous characters. So here we are, a level 10 Bard Warrior Monk. I can equip everything because, except that, can't wear the dagger, can't probably wear I can't wear these robes. So I have to take these off. They provide me no benefit right now. I have to take off the Mithril two-hander because it has the ghoul. I put the Ghoulbane proc on it, which we can explain the exaltation system later if you didn't watch the exaltation videos that the EQ Legends dev team put out. So I'm going to force myself to use like these fine steel weapons that I've gathered, which they're not basic, but I have been carrying these for a long time, and I've just been randomly slowly leveling them up. So we'll use some of these weapons, and they'll help us get going. So I know this isn't a pristine run, and that's okay. This is beta. When the game releases in full in July, then we'll do a pristine level 1 run with nothing and do that. This is beta, so we're going to just mess around. We're going to play around. I'm going to show you the systems, show you the various things in the game. So what I'm going to do now is run back to the bank, and at the bank, we are going to drop off a whole bunch of our gear so that we start out kind of sort of not gimped, but just like sort of new a little bit. All right, we are here at the bank, and you can see I got a whole bunch of bags and stuff in the bank, and I am going to drop off a bunch of gear here. So I can't wear those robes anyway, so we'll get rid of the robes. We'll get rid of the helmet. We'll keep the face mask. It's only a banded mask, no big deal there. Stuff that's kind of like not super powered, I'll hang on to. Yeah, let's see. Boots, gotta go. Moonstone ring. These are kind of nice rings. Serpentine bracer. Let's see, what's that? That's pretty low AC. Actually, no, we'll drop those too because these are kind of like dropped items. And we'll just try to earn what we can out in the world. Let's see, we'll drop those off. Dagger Marduk I can't even use. Mithril Tunic, which is not that great for us anyway. For now, and then Dark Milk Gauntlet. Boy, we're not gonna have anything on. Jeez. And the collar of undead. We'll just keep that on. We'll just keep the collar and the mask, and we got to get rid of the sword because I can't use it. Well, I need to actually what I need to do. So I'm going to show you how this exaltation system works. So in Ghoulbane, the Ghoulbane has a proc on it. Well, I stole the proc out of it and I put it onto the Mithril two-hander. So now I'm going to take it back out of the Mithril two-hander. We're going to put it in there. It's as easy as that. Click, click. There is something important to know, though, how the exaltations work. You can't just put it in whatever you want. You can't take the Ghoulbane proc and be like, I'm going to put it in my monk stick, like, or a monk weapon or something like that, because it has to share a class with it. So as you know, the Ghoulbane is a paladin-only weapon. That means when you take this proc off, you can only put it into a weapon that has paladin as an enabled class. Now, this Mithril two-hander has Paladin in it, so it lets you do it. But if Paladin was not a valid class for the Mithril Two-Hander, it would not let you put the proc on it. And once you do put the proc on, watch what it does. So you'll see now my Mithril Two-Hander is Warrior, Paladin, Shadow Knight, Berserker. Watch what happens when I put it in. It is now Paladin only. So it takes whatever the shared classes are, and it locks that weapon to only that class. So you can't be like, yo, my Warrior is attacking with the Ghoulbane. Now, if you have a Paladin as one of your multi-classes, then sure, a Warrior could, if it's a Warrior, Paladin, Cleric or something, you could do that. But yeah, so we're going to put this back on the Ghoulbane where it belongs. We will put these in the bank. Okay, there we go. Boy, we're looking naked. We don't have anything on, just a couple pieces of armor I left on, and my 2 fine steel weapons. So there's a, sure, if you want to call it a little bit of twinking, but we're just having fun. When we start in July, we'll be fresh, newbie with nothing. But this is pretty newbie, I would say. So what we got to do now is we're going to head out into the world and just kill stuff. I mean, that's kind of the goal here, right? Something interesting I'll tell you about as we're running out here is for the first 20 levels of your leveling experience, the game will automatically grant you some important spells and songs and automatically put them in your spell book. So that's pretty cool. Like, you don't have to run back and get those songs or spells or whatever it is for the first 20 levels. It doesn't give you all the spells, so some of them you still need to go back and buy, and so there is a reason to go back, but most of the time you can just stay out in the field and continue fighting and not be like, oh, I gotta run back to town and get my spells. No, it'll give you the critical important ones and let you just keep going. You just gotta put it on your spell bar and away you go. So it's a nice feature. Now after level 20, then you got to start returning to town, level 20 or 21 to continue filling your spell book. Okay, now we're outside. I want to show you the AAs real quick. Of course, I've earned like 90 AAs, and playing, I've earned a lot of AAs, but they're much easier to get in this game. You can earn AAs right from level 1. So once you're level 1, you begin earning AAs right away. It doesn't take away from your XP at all. It's just you earn it alongside of. You don't have to distribute like, oh, I want 50% of my experience to go to AA. You don't have to do that. It just automatically puts it in equally into AAs from leveling. So for the Bard, I got to learn all these. There's going to be all sorts of new things I got to learn about, new AAs I want to spend points in. I know that there's some important, probably, things for the Bard that I'm going to have to research. I won't go through those now, but there's a bunch of AAs to look at. They're custom AAs that are for this server. There's some that are not even, I think, on TLPs, and they're definitely not on Quarm. And you have to remember, my opinion is coming entirely from my experience on Quarm, which is only up through Lucelyn. And so there's a lot of stuff in the TLPs that I'm not aware of, and I might be like, look at this, and then you guys who play TLPs are like, well, that's already on TLP, I know about that. Yeah, I don't, so give me a little grace on that. Now, if you notice, I was talking about my spell bar before, my spell gems. It's quite extended because I had put the first thing I did with my AAs was I put it into mnemonic retention, which gave me 6 additional spell gems. Very nice. So I definitely wanted that because my first class that I was playing, my first multi-class, was very spell-driven. Necromancer, Paladin, Shaman. So you have so many spells to juggle. I'll tell you what, look at my spell book. It's a little crazy. It keeps all my spells from my previous classes. I just can't use them. But look at this. I've got so many spells in here because it's a mix of 3 different classes of spells or more. It's just crazy. So now I've got all my Bard songs in here as well that I'm going to have to go through and memorize. So you can right click on any of the spell gems just like you can on Quarm, and you can put your songs in here or whatever. Now, of course, since Bard is the only thing that has anything to put any spell gems in, that's what I'm going to be using. Because the other 2 classes, of course, Warrior and Monk, don't do that. Now, what Warrior and Monk do have, which we need to look at, is our abilities. So if we go to the abilities tab, which is the key L, it gives you all these different cool abilities they have. So Cleave, that's a warrior ability, which is awesome. I have that on Shift 1. Bash, which I'm going to do automatic. So bashing will automatically bash if you have, like a shield on. which of course I don't have a shield on, but I'll keep it on automatic anyway if I decide to use a shield. Then you have all the other standard kind of abilities that are no big deal here. Taunt, which I don't use very much because you just kill things so quick you don't need to taunt anything. Intimidation, which of course is the monk ability. And Mend. Now that's an important one. We're going to put that on the bar, probably right on shift 2. And then what else do we have? Anything? Surprise. I don't even know what surprise is. I don't know what that is. Begging, fishing, sneak. That's kind of important. We get have sneak hide, which is really great. So we'll put those down here somewhere. We're not going to need quick buff right now. Quick buff, I'll explain that in a little bit. Sneak hide. So let's do that. Oop, I'm hiding now. So we've got sneak hide. That'll be really great for like sneaking through dungeons and stuff. And then kick. Here we go. So here's our other monk abilities. So we have kick, of course. We've got, which is everyone, but then we've got round kick, and we've got tiger strike. So that's like our tiger strike is our single target, and then round kick will actually hit like in a cone in front of you and hit 3 additional enemies, which is awesome. That goes really well with cleave. So I think what I'll actually do is put those here. I'm not going to be using a pet, so I can get rid of these pet abilities. Actually, you know what? Let's do, yeah, then we'll get rid of the pet abilities for now, because I'm not using a pet. I was using one with the Necromancer, of course. All right, give me a minute here. I'm going to go through and now get kind of like my bars all set up now that we've looked at these, and we'll start get out there and start fighting. Okay, I think I got my abilities pretty much lined up the way I'd like them. So let me talk about a few of the things that you might see down here that are interesting. So of course, find, that's more of a modern TLP, modern Everquest thing that they added, where you can, click it and find something in the zone. It gives you a little guide to follow. Origin. So Origin is an AA you get right at level. As soon as you start your characters, the first AA they grant you is Origin. It brings you back to your starting city. So wherever your city character, which mine of course is Neriak, so it brings me back here. A pro tip for any classes that are casters: if you're a caster and you get Gate, you can set your bind point to something different. So your Origin always goes to your home city on a 18-minute cooldown, and Gate you can do somewhere else. So let's say your city is Neriak, like mine, and then let's say I've been leveling in Guk. I can set my bind on Inithul Swamp, and then I can gate there, and then I can jump back to. Hey, someone's saying hello to me. Where'd they go? I want to say hi. They recognize me, and you can use the gate ability to go back to the dungeon and then jump back with Origin, so you can hop back and forth. It's a really nice ability. So hey, I just wanted to give, I paused for a minute to talk to Diz, just give Diz a shout out. Thanks for watching the videos. Glad you enjoy them. My other series, of course, the Quarm series. You are the first person I'm shouting out in the new beta Everquest Legends series. So thank you for saying hello, and I appreciate you saying something very much. I always enjoy it when people say hello to me, and I apologize if I yap your ear off because I tend to do that when you talk to me. But anyway, thank you, Diz. All right, we're going to get back to it now. So anyway, that was the Origin ability. It's really cool. It's really useful, especially for casters. But even for a melee, it's great. I can come home whenever I want from somewhere. It's really nice. Then, of course, so quick buff. Not something I can use with this class, this combination. But it's really great with all your caster classes, buffing classes. Quick buff lets you. So once you loaded all those buffs up on, in your spell book here, you target yourself and you hit quick buff, and what it does is it buffs you. It takes all of the buffs on your bar and instantly buffs you with them, and anyone else in your group also gets them. It's not an MGB. MGB hits people that are, mass group buff. That hits everyone outside of your group in a large radius around you. They do have mass group buff as an AA, but quick buff is just for you, your pets, if you have a pet, and your group, and they will, if they're close to you, they'll get the full stack of buffs that you have on your bar, and then it just drains your mana to 0, but it's totally worth it. There we go. So I mean, that's the kind of those are the buffs. Those are the things that are like, oh, gather party. One more thing. 6-hour cooldown lets you pull anyone that you invite. You can invite across zones. You don't have to target people. You can just invite them across a zone by /invite. So like if I've got a friend who's like in Greater Fadark, and I'm over here in Antonica, I invite them with /invite. They join my group, and then I could invite, say, you remember you can only have a group of 4, so you can't have 5 or more. You can only have up to 4. And then once you do, say you gather all your people together and they're all over the world, you hit gather party and it pulls them to all of them to you. It's like a if you think of World of Warcraft, like almost like a warlock summon, pulls everybody to you. But it's on a 6-hour cooldown, so you obviously can't use it a lot, but it's useful. Yeah, it's a very useful ability. So those are all the abilities that everyone has access to. Then of course you have your class abilities like Heroic Leap, which is the Here's Heroic Leap, which lets you I don't know if I have access to it yet. It says, yeah, I don't think it's actually, oh, I need level 12 to use it, so I can't use it yet. It's on my bar, but that'll let you literally leap a whole distance and you can land it, on some mobs, and it's like an AoE aggro. It'll pull everyone to aggro on you. It's kind of a cool warrior ability. And then of course my monk abilities and my men. So all right, enough yapping on this. I mean, there's so many systems I'd like to show you guys. Of course, here's something cool. I got to show you the map now, too. I'm going to zoom in on the map. I hope you can see it. But look at this. There's a ring around you. You can turn it on by right-clicking up here. You can turn on NPCs and rings. And guess what? It tracks mobs in the ring. Look at that. I can see, as he disappears. Man, that's so cool. So, like, if we run out in the field here, we're going to start seeing mobs appear on the map. Oh, there's that skeleton. We see him on the map, right? And it even cons their color. So if there's a mob that's red or blue or yellow, it's going to show the color of the dot. Of course, these are all grays to me because I'm level 10. But as we start running out here, we're going to start running into some mobs that are kind of tougher. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to like kind of start killing stuff. I got to get some bard songs on my bar and everything. And I'm going to talk more about the game. I'm going to talk more about the mechanics as we go. I know there's so much to share that you may have questions about. And you're welcome to ask me questions in the comments, and I will answer what I can. There are still some limited NDA rules that we have to follow as content creators. And so I can't talk about everything, but I can talk about anything we pretty much see in the game. If it, certain things in the game, I'll tell you if I can or I can't. But for the most part, I can share pretty much everything we see and do in the game and answer those questions. So, but I will try to talk about all the systems that are in the game. I'll talk about hit point and mana calculations a little bit. I don't know the exact math, but I have a rough idea of how it works. Okay, so I fiddled around with my songs for a minute, got them loaded, and got a few. Well, I set up one little macro for doing melody. You can use melody in this game where you can, I think, play up to 4 songs, maybe 3. I gotta play with that a little bit. I think it's 4. Of course, my abilities are really terrible right now, so I keep skipping a beat and then missing it. So where'd my map go? There it is. And yeah, so what I'm doing now is I am heading out to the Common Lands and am going to kind of fight out there a bit and maybe level up there as well as towards West Common Lands. My goal is to head towards Befallen. And the reason I'm heading towards Befallen is Befallen has been reworked a little bit. Not reworked, it's still the same zone, but they added a few mobs, like 3 or 4 different mobs that drop new items. Cool, good loot too. And we can't fight all of them for sure, because some of them are way down deep at the bottom, and we need to level up a bunch before we get there. But near the top, there's a guy I'd like to kill, but we have to level, of course, for a bit. Maybe get level, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, something like that. Leveling is very fast, you'll find out as we start killing things. It is not painful at all to level. Even in the 40s, because like I said, I leveled to 50 already on this character. The 40s slow down, compared to the rest of the leveling experience, but it is nothing like Quarm or P99 at all. We're not skipping beats now. That's good. We're actually hitting our music and not dropping our songs this time. I don't have to keep hitting the melody. So you notice as we kill things, it'll actually show you the experience percentage you're getting. Oh, I've got to move these. Oh, these are skill ups. That's fine. Skill ups are okay. It'll show you the experience you're getting from mobs. You know me, if you've watched any of my Quarm videos, you know that I love to know the percentage at which we're gaining experience. And this is wonderful for that. Very easy to know, okay, do I want to keep killing these? Do I want to move on based on the percentage I'm receiving? I'm going to move into Striker Stance. Striker Stance lets us hit for a whole lot more in our abilities. Okay, good. I can show you this now. So this is the loot window. And when you kill something, even if you kill it over there, like if I nuke something way over there, you don't have to run up and right-click on any corpse. You just kill it and it pops up your loot screen. Now the advanced loot screen is cool. Now I think this screen is probably familiar to TLP players, completely new to a Quarm player. And what you can do is you basically set auto actions for what you'd like to happen. I'm going to move out of here so I don't get attacked when I'm trying to talk. And if you hit the check mark, it's just going to loot it and put it in your bag. If you hit merge, you can merge it. Now this is not a merge eligible item, so we can't do it, but you'll see that later. Storing it, that sends it to your bank. Either it sends it to the trade skill depot if it's a trade skill item, which this might be this is probably a trade skill item, or no, I don't know if you can use these trade skills, or if it's like a piece of equipment, it'll send it to the Dragon Hoard, which are both, the only way you can access those are from the bank. They're very large, like repositories for items. And then your sell, you can just sell an item right here from your inventory, and that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to take one step further. If you right click anywhere on this, if you right click, I go to the name of the NPC and right click it. You can set these to either auto loot, auto merge, auto store, auto sell. Since I don't care about ruined cat pelts at all, I'm going to auto sell it. Once I auto sell it, every time I loot an item, a ruined cat pelt, it's going to automatically sell it without even me looking. I don't even have to see it in the window. That's it. It's just going to do it. It's pretty cool. So I thought this is kind of a cool shot here. So maybe we can get a little screenshot here. But I'll keep talking. So that auto advance window is so cool, which also means when you're auto selling, you don't have to go back to town at all. So you just it allows you to stay in the world a whole lot longer, and just keep killing. And that whole like 1 to 20 thing as well, like getting your spells up to 20, so useful. You in the first 20 levels, you're very rarely going to return home. Also, something to note, I'm being attacked by a skeleton. Okay. And something other to note is I know I have a lot of money because it's from my previous character, and I've spent a lot of money too. I've probably got over the time spent, I don't know, 5k plat. Money weighs nothing. It's 0 weight. That's why I can carry so much plat, and my weight is only 28. So it's fine. And like really, like weight should not be an issue. Am I attacking? Weight should not be an issue in this game, because a lot of times you're merging items, you're automatically selling them. Also, something else to note is if you have an item in your bag that you don't want, let's use this because I don't care about these paradots. Let's say you're like, oh shoot, I looted this and I meant to sell it. Well, just destroy it. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but watch. Ta-da! It actually sells the item for me. So by destroying it, an item that's eligible to be sold, it will sell it. Now, if you've got an item that's bound to you, like a no-drop item, and you bound it to your character, or you've attuned it, which we'll talk about tuning later, you will not. It literally destroys it because you can't sell no-drop or attuned items. So yeah. Level 14 ghoul. Ooh, it's fun. I gotta build a battle macro real quick here. I don't have a battle macro built. I gotta build one. Hang on. Alright, I got a battle macro. So let's see, level 10. Can a level 10 take on a yellow? Can we do it? We're gonna find out. Also to note, there are no magical items in the game at all. Every item you have here, none of them are magical. Also, mobs are not magical either, which means you can hit them without needing to have a magical item because magic items don't exist. So I can hit this ghoul, for example, which is really useful. And so I'm going to hit my cleave here, and round kick hits both of them. And it's wonderful. You can kill will-o-wisps, you can kill ghouls, and you don't need magic items. I love it. Very nice. Well, if you haven't figured out, a regular level 10 at this time would not have been able to survive that, and I easily survived it. And you'll notice that I did a whole lot of damage to the zombie, and I wasn't even fighting it. That's because of the cleave, that was the round kick hitting them, that was the AoE chords of dissonance hitting them, really useful. So here's another item, Rusty Bastard Sword. Don't care about it. I'm going to auto sell. Anytime I find one of those, I want it to be sold. Now if you look at that yellow, I got 4.7% XP. Great XP for a kill. Imagine you just got to kill 20 of those guys, and you've dinged. Rusty Warhammer, don't care about it. We're selling it. Keep on moving here. I'm going to try to find some stuff like that. We want to find things that are like that were level higher than us. We want yellows. Yellows are great. There's nothing wrong with killing blues. They're okay to kill, but you really want to be killing stuff that's even cons, blues, and as you get a little closer, like level 10 is probably too early to try it, but reds too. You can fight reds. You know, once you get up into like level 15, 16, close to 20, you will be killing mobs that are 10 levels higher than you without too much of a problem. Now, you can't take multiple of them. That would be too hard unless you're mezzing and crowd controlling, but you can definitely take on something that's red without an issue. I've taken on a red and a yellow at the same time, no problem, where you would normally, you know, on Quarm or something, you would be destroyed. And you wouldn't have a chance. Not unless you're twinked out or, you know, buffed out or something. Maybe you could do it then, but you've got to remember this character is 3 characters in 1. So, while I'm running, and actually I'll talk about it maybe when I'm inside a little more, but about how the stats work. I don't know the exact math behind them, but I know approximately how it works in the calculation. So something we're going to look at inside here is picks, or what TLP players know it as picks. And I think about it as layers or shards or instances. That's what I tend to call it instances. I'm coming around to the idea of picks because that's just the common term for it. So what I want to do is I want to see who's in here. What do we got in here? A handful of people hanging out here. Cool. If we go over here to this difficulty modifier, right now we're on difficulty 0. But if I want it to be a little bit harder, give me a little more experience, and the loot is a little better. And what I mean by better is that they drop at a higher number. So if we look at my weapons, they're +6 and +7, which means I have merged a whole bunch of duplicates into this one weapon to level it up. It has an experience bar. We can see the experience bar right here. As I'm merging more fine steel rapiers into this item, it levels it up. Now on level 0, you're just going to get a base item. Maybe you get a +1. On difficulty 1, you get a +1. On difficulty 2, you get a +2. You get the picture, right? So I'm going to click on the difficulty here, and it's going to show us our pick zones. And there are, in every area now, there's currently up to 4. The difficulty goes to 4. And 4 is the hardest, and which also means it drops +4 items. The items you get are all going to be +4 in there, no matter what it is. Even if it's a rusty weapon, it'll be +4, which makes them easier to merge and level them up faster. Whereas like a 0 or a 1, not the case. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bump to 2, because 2 is my favorite. I fight on difficulty 2 a lot. Here's why. As you get higher in difficulties, you're going to run into monsters that are multi-classed. So instead of it just being a warrior, you are going to see, I don't know if we'll see any right up front here, but you'll see like these are all warriors, right? It shows me on my target bar, it's a warrior. But you'll see like a warrior bard, a warrior mage, a warrior wizard, warrior cleric, they start dual classing. And when they dual class, they are a whole lot harder to kill. They're not like, they don't really wreck you. It's just that they take forever to kill. They have a ton of mana and they heal themselves forever. And it's a very long drawn out fight, which then that gets dangerous because suddenly the room is repopping around you and then they're all attacking you. So yeah, I've died to that a few times, actually quite a few times. So I like D2 because at D2, you don't run into very many dual class. On 3 and 4, much more common. On 4, it's almost everything is dual class on difficulty 4. So it's best just to stay on 2 for, allowing yourself to be kind of somewhat, you can speed along pretty well. You're not running into dual, wield mobs, and +2 weapons aren't too bad. They merge up fairly quick to like +4s at least, or +5 if you're getting a lot of the same drops. So in Striker Stance, I don't care about a shield, we're going to sell it. In Striker Stance, we have these stances. So Offense Stance, here you can read them. Your outgoing melee damage, meaning what I'm swinging with my weapon, is going to be 100%, increased by 100%. And you get a chance to hit, increased by 25%. And then there's a cost of your endurance by running this. Striker Stance, your outgoing weapon skill abilities, meaning this does not affect you swinging your weapon. This only affects you when you are using an ability like Cleave, Round Kick, Tiger Claw. That's in particular what it's using, and that it is 3x damage for outgoing weapon skill abilities, and non-weapon skill abilities deal 5x. So that's going to be like your probably Round Kick and Tiger Claw are going to do 5x damage. And Cleave, that is a weapon skill, so that's 3x. But that gets out of control crazy. But it really burns your stamina very, very quickly. And since I'm playing a dual melee class with Warrior Monk that uses endurance, I will be regularly running out of endurance. So you stance dance a little bit. And you might be like, okay, I'm running low on endurance, I'm going to go to balanced. In balanced, it's just, you just get, it's nice because look, all incoming damage is reduced by 10%, your chance to hit is increased by 10, and endurance regen, excluding out of combat bonus, is doubled. So it's a good way, like in the fight, to get your endurance back up so you can kick back over to striker. These abilities are so good. AoE abilities are so strong. Cleave is such a good ability. You just walk in here and mow guys down. You don't have to worry about what you're hitting. If you're hitting one target, you're going to hit more than one. Like I'm doing with Cleave and Round Kick, hit more than one. So you can see the Plague Rat is already taking damage. Oh, I didn't mention this, right? So this is the extended target window. If you're a TL player, you already know about extended targets. If you're a Quarm or P99 player, you have no idea what this is. Extended targets just shows you your aggro list. It will tell you what has aggroed on you, even if it's across the dungeon. If it is aggroed on you, you will see it. It's very useful in groups because you can see what your party's fighting. You can click and target things. You can see what your guy's pulling. There are things here that you can use for setting up like targets of targets and group. You can set all sorts of crazy like raid type stuff in here. Very long list. I don't use any of that. I just use it to know what is attacking me, what is aggroed on me. And if I'm just standing here and all of a sudden I see a list of like 6 guys hit, I'm like, okay, it's time to feign death or run. Because I've pulled something I shouldn't have and I got way too many. So as you can see, these really don't pose much of a challenge. Of course, I am fighting guys that are level 6, but you can see how these abilities just melt guys down, which is great. So I'd like to get down to where I'm fighting stuff that's a little bit harder. Well, I'm not even hitting anything, just so that I can gain levels a little faster, because it's kind of slow right now. But we will get to a point where we're kind of melting things pretty quickly and XPing very fast, and especially as you get more gear. If you're a gear dependent class, you know, of course, like you know, somehow I pulled 2, there he is. If you're gear dependent class, like a melee class like I am, you're going to be really wanting gear, and not because you don't have any spells. Like casters have it a little easier in that they just hit spells and go. I'm going to target this neophyte because I don't feel like him casting on me. So I'm going to try to knock him down quick. Oh, I gotta get used to playing a bard where if my song gets interrupted, I gotta recast it here and keep going. Oh man, my auto attack, I'm not used to this. So much damage already, I've only been playing for a few minutes. Is my song off again? It is. There we go, nice. Oh, it's turned off. I don't know what I'm doing to make... Oh, right. The auto attack turns off when a mob dies, I forgot about that. I should try mend here. Ooh, I gained a little bit. There is an AA to make mend better. I was looking through the AAs real quick when I was setting up my macros and getting my songs mended up. But you can... There's some nice AAs for bards that like makes your instrument abilities better, your singing skill better. You get a better mend, which is a stronger mend. It's great. So those are things worth putting points into. Now here's a wonderful yellow. We love yellows. Skeleton rod. There is lore behind this guy, and but I watched a video on it. Oh, I'm not in striker stance. I'm like, why am I not hitting as hard as I usually do? Because I was in balanced stance when I was showing you the different stances. Well, since we're still talking about them, there's the evasive stance, which is you have 95% chance to avoid incoming attacks. That's not magic, but you go into this mode, like if you just need to be like regen up a little bit and not take any damage. But of course, it consumes endurance as you are evading that damage, so you burn your endurance down pretty quick. Skeletal Rod, an actual weapon that is +2. You can see it drops as a +2 because we're in difficulty 2. It's really terrible, so I'm not even interested in keeping it, so I'm going to auto sell that. And it sold for nothing, so yeah, it doesn't sell for a thing. Now you'll notice my hit points are not... Wait, did I set up my heal for this? I think so. So they're healing regen. I'm going to talk about that for a minute. I haven't even got to that. There is no such thing as sit ticking, which if you've watched any of my Quarm videos on Skeletane, you know that I love to sit tick. I am very much about hitting my sit ticks and not missing those sit ticks. I don't have to do that anymore. There's no such thing as sit ticking because you automatically... it's as though you're sitting all the time. Let me put it that way. It's like you're on a horse in Quarm all the time. You have full regen while standing. You never need to sit. Sitting is purely for fun or habit, which I have a habit of doing, especially as a caster, but with the bard you kind of can't. The other thing to note is you have an in-combat and out-combat kind of regen. And you can see this here. It says you are resting and recovering health, mana, and endurance at an increased rate when it's green on above your status bar. When you're in combat, there's a red X there, which means you're now regening at the normal rate. But once you're out of combat, 2 ticks later, 12 seconds later, you go into kind of like the hyper fast recovery method. And you can see I'm gaining very quickly. And if you look at my hit points, 630 hit points at level 10 is massive compared to, you know, Quarm or P99. And look how fast I'm regaining my health. It's a whole lot faster than you'd be regaining it if you had 630 health on any of those normal game modes. Or sorry, on P99 or Quarm. So we're gonna go try to fight the first named, which is right there. We can see our Asuka Leray. She is a level 16 Shadow Knight. Probably would give us a lot of trouble. Would be a long fight, I would imagine. So I don't know if I would take her yet. I'd kind of like a level, but she's the first one to drop some new items. Oh no, I just got attacked. I poked my head around the corner a little too far. That's my own fault. Let's go into battle mode, attack, turn on our battle songs, start cleaving things, round kicking them, Tiger Claw. That striker stance just blows them up. 3 to 5 extra times damage. Amazing. Look at this. Bang. It's awesome. Maybe we can take her on. Let's see if anything else tries to hit me through the doors, which you know in this game happens. Oh, hello, Skelly. Well, we'll try fighting and see how it goes. This could go. And if it does, that's okay. I can show you how. Oh, wow. Forgot about that part. Let's mend a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to go very well. And that's okay. I can show you what it's like to die. Because dying is not a bad thing in this game. It's not a big deal. Oh yeah, we're not going to survive this fight. So now we know we need to come back here and fight her when we're a little higher. Oh, now I got the rat on me. I'm so used to having a heal spell. I can heal myself with my other two class picks. So when you die, you get an option. Again, this is probably known to TLP players. But there are some differences, which is of course your bind location, which I'm bound at Grob because I was leveling in Guck on my other character, my other set. Or you can spawn at the safe zone point, which is always at the entrance of the dungeon. And ta-da, we're back. And you don't lose XP. There's no res sickness. There's no negative effect of dying at all. So you just respawn and you keep going, which is, you know, how they want you to play, is to just keep you in the game and keep going. But of course, the advantage of fighting the blues is you can mow them down pretty quick. And that's not too bad for experience if you're just blowing things up. Oh, by the way, you might be wondering about my guild tag. Clickbait. Yeah, this is the guild that myself and the other Quarm YouTubers created. I'm the guild leader right now. I got transferred to me, but I'm the guild leader at the moment. And it's just for us to kind of be able to see each other if we're online and play with each other. So, but yeah, we've been playing the beta for a couple weeks now and having a lot of fun here. And so we decided to... Did I just sell that? I just put it in the Dragon Horde. That's not what I wanted to do. Let me fix that. So pro tip, if you accidentally do what I just did, was I took this parrying dagger and I sent it to my dragon horde, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to sell it. Now it's always going to auto store it because that's what I chose. So how do you fix that? You type /adv loot and you can check your advanced loot here. And where's my filters? Oh, here it is. Click filters and I can go through. This is all the stuff I've set over time. So what I want to do is look for that parrying dagger. Parry. And then you can see it's on store. What I want to do is I want to put it on sell instead. There you go. Now it'll auto sell it. Also, if you would like to know, for Bard players out there, the AoE songs do not hit mobs that you're not engaged with. You also can't do any kiting. So if you look at Cella's or the dot song, it says flashing notes that hit 4 damage up to 30 nearby creatures that are not moving. So there is no kiting and pulling the zone and running around in circles. Doesn't happen in this game. You've got to stand still. Now, I think that's also a TLP feature. I think someone had mentioned that to me, but yeah, that was new to me. Obviously, being from Quarm, P99 kind of, you just don't have that. But also, what this means is, for bards, is if you're not engaged in combat on this mob, then you can safely run into town. If you exit, you should be able to quote-unquote safely run into town. I haven't tested it, but and go through town if you left your Chords of Discord on, and it shouldn't be hitting the guards. It should not be hitting the guards. Ooh, I pulled a little too much here. Again. Come on, round kick, do your thing. Oh yeah, this striker stance is so good. Just melts their health. Come on. We gotta pull it off. Okay, we just got a little, got an AA there. That's what that noise was. That was not a level. That was an AA. Ooh, that was a close battle. I'm gonna have to chill for a minute. Also in the game, they have tagging, mob tagging. So if you, I don't know if this is on TLP. Again, I'm just making this observation that if someone else engages a mob, you can't fight it. You can't kill steal it. You can't. They've tagged it. It's theirs. That also means if someone's like, I think there's a way to go get around this, but that also. Ooh, that's a dual class. That guy spawned as a dual class. War cleric. There it is. You could tell because he was casting a spell. So if somebody needs help, like if they're in the middle of a fight, you kind of can't help them. I think there's a way to do it though. Where it allows you to engage with the mobs and help them, but you can't actually attack them because if they're not in your group, like they've tagged it, you can heal the player, and help them that way. But you can't run up and be like, oh, let me just destroy these mobs. I can't remember. There's a way to cause that to happen, but I don't know what it is. I'm sure someone who is a TLP player will be able to tell me what it is. If it's a TLP feature, I don't know. This guy's casting on me. He's a dual class. No healing for you. Come on. So yeah, I am just going to kind of level in here and just beat things up. And as I think of interesting features to show off and say. I'm going to point them out to you. There's so much in this that's new and different to me. I think it'll be less new and different for TLP players that are familiar with it in the current like modern EverQuest models. But for those of you who are Quarm fans and like me, come from that side of the world, then there's a lot of new and different things that are cool. So hopefully I can try to showcase a little bit of that here. Now, here's the other thing. There are tons of other creators that are also releasing videos. They're also streaming this stuff on the same day that this is releasing. So you're going to be overloaded with content to watch, to see, and engage with and learn about. So I won't be the only one I'm sure you're going to watch and learn something new with. But I'll share what I can and what I can remember as I play it. There's just so much to do and see. It's pretty cool. Hey, look at that. So this is some of the new items that are in here. These pristine studded leather boots. And we're totally wearing those. Did we get our first pair of boots? Can we wear them? Oh yeah, look at that. Agility 7, AC 8. These are crazy for dropping in Befallen. But that's awesome. If we get more, we can merge them together. So we got our first set of boots. They're blue. It's kind of cool. All right. And I know more of that stuff drops down here. I don't remember from who, but it does. Oh, I think we're going to level off this guy. Oh, so close we didn't. Maybe off this rat. Just mowing these. Now we're starting to mow these guys down as our skills have leveled up a bit, so we're hitting more accurately. We still didn't level. There it is. Dang. Oh yeah. I'll sell that. What are these guys? Green? Oh, they're gray. Okay. We don't care about grays. So level 11, would we get anything? Looks like we did not get a song at level 11. Also, something to show you. If you hit L back where the abilities were listed, it has disciplines, which we don't have yet. But there's your macro tab, but also the spell tab. You can pick this and look at all the spells available to classes. So since I'm a bard, it's just going to show me what I get every level. Currently, I am only showing up to level 10 for some reason. Normally, it shows you the entire list, I think. Let me go look here. Yeah, see if I look at cleric, you'll see that I can look at all the spells up to 50. You can do that for any of the classes that have spells, I think. Yeah, you can look at all of them. But for some reason, the bard's only showing the 10. I don't know why that is. Maybe I gotta like log out and log back in or something, because I haven't logged out in a while. Oh, she's yellow now. Okay, that's exciting. I still don't think we can take her though. She kind of wrecked us. Well, our skills are a little better. I mean, what do we got to lose? We just go back to the start, right? Let's fight her. Do it, come on. Oh, I forget about that though. That arm touch is brutal. We're doing better, but can we sustain it? I'm going to switch into defensive stance for a minute. It gives 50%. See if that helps. If not, I may go to evasive. Now, of course, my kicks don't hit this hard. Yeah, we'll try evasive for now. Now we will take a whole lot less damage. We might survive this. Doesn't help us against life spike though. Maybe mend will come back up in time. We can hit another mend. Comes back pretty quick. That's why the stance dancing is so useful. Oh, we got her. She and John. Ooh, look at that. She dropped the enchanted Fine Still Morning Star. Awesome. It's not better than what we have right now, but if we merge this a few times, I bet it's going to get better than these ratios of 0.33. So we'll see. We'll see if it gets better. Go back into Striker so we can mow these guys down. If they don't mow me down first. Oh yeah, these abilities with the Striker are out of control. So while we're waiting here just to regen, which won't take too long, but want to get our endurance back up, I did want to show you there is a pet equipment loadout, which is pretty cool. Now, because I'm not a pet class, this is the stuff. This is the gear I gathered for my pet when I had a pet class. So these three slots are disabled because I'm not a pet class. But if I was like a mage or a necromancer, I would have all these slots available. And sometimes you can get more if you combine more than one pet class together. Like if you're a necromancer mage, you get more slots. Anyway, you can see I've got 2 short swords of the Acacia for my pet and a flowing black silk sash, which of course I farmed up in Guck. But this is a really cool feature. And what's neat is when your pet dies, which actually happens quite a bit because the aggro's a little different here for pets. I haven't exactly figured it out, but it's kind of weird. And sometimes you just cannot peel the aggro off of the mob and off the pet and onto you, so he just dies a lot. Anyway, when he dies, it's no problem. When he comes back, you automatically re-equip him, so the equipment stays with the pet all the time, which is so cool. So you don't have to, like on Quarm, I'm like, oh, I have to resummon my mage gear and I've got to hand it to him, and if he dies, oh no, you've seen Skeletane, if he's my pet dies, I gotta go find the gear again, and this just stays on your pet all the time, and you can level it up level these pieces up as well. It's pretty cool. All right, we're just gonna get to killing more stuff. Oh, we got a multi-class over here. What's he doing? No, it was the enchanter. Wonderful. Enchanters are super deadly in this game because they can charm you, and then everyone just kills you, or they can mez you. It's not fun. And necromancers are really scary. Enchanters and necromancers are the 2 that I am not keen on finding as a multi-class, because the necromancers will fear you through the entire dungeon and everything jumps all over you, or you get charmed, which is even worse, because then it'll take you back. Now here it wouldn't be so bad because I don't have far to go, but in some other places you follow the mob to wherever he wants you to go, and then you get murdered by everything around you. Since I've got a few ability points here, let's see what I can use them on. I want to do something in class, only because I've already spent a handful of things already with the combat kind of stuff in the general area. Although I haven't pushed up natural regen and the others, but your regen is so high already. So let's see, I would like, let me think here. Instrument Mastery is great. I don't know if I need an instrument for that to work, though. Singing Mastery is good, though, because we sing a lot right now. Jam Fest might be cool. I don't know if this is it's a passive ability, so let's do Jam Fest. Why not? That looks like it improves everything. So I'm heading down to where the Footman is, and the Footman, these new mobs that they added, who drops a really nice sword. If we can get that sword, boy, that'll be great. It's a really good one-hander. Again, a new item to Befallen. It's definitely not on Quarm, definitely not on P99. I don't know if what level he is, though. Let's see. Ooh, level 20. Ooh. We can't take him yet, but he's a good target. There's a, you can see with this item we just dropped, which is just some cloth sleeves, but they dropped it +3. So even though I'm in +2, there are sometimes chances that you will get a item that is a little higher from the area. Also, I would like to, I forgot to mention this because we haven't done any grouping yet. We're not fighting with anyone, but all loot in the game is on personal loot. So I think that's TLP is like that too. But so when you're in a group and whatever loot you see, it's your loot. It's not like, you know, oh, you're gonna take from, you know, another player. You're gonna ninja loot it. There's no ninja looting. You just get whatever the item is. It's yours. What's also interesting to notice, and you will notice this first thing you play it, is, you know, run around the newbie yard. You're looking for a weapon. You see that, you know, oh, look at that skeleton. It's got a sword. I want to take it. That's a visual only thing. He will not drop the weapon you see in his hand. He could, but what happens is every time you kill that mob, any mob, it's kind of like the loot is randomized. And it's randomized for everybody. So, you know, you might be killing a named mob with a friend, and you're like, oh, I hope I can get that sword of, you know, the footman, for example. Oh, I want the footman sword. And you guys both go kill the footman, and you might get the sword, and your friend gets the gloves that he drops, because it's randomized loot, and it's personal loot. And whatever is in his hand, or if they're wearing something for some reason, you know, it's not gonna mean anything. So, wow, the thaumaturgist is up here. I didn't know that it spawned up here. That's interesting. We would get wrecked by her. So just thinking about the bard as I level, and like I said, you get some songs. You don't get all the songs. Let's see if it shows 11. It's still not showing them all. I don't know why. Oh, show inscribed? Oh, there we go. That's what I forgot to do. So we want to see show inscribed. So here's the thing. I really need Jackson's Jiggle Vigor. And oh, we got to turn on our where's our, which one is it? Balanced? Balanced stance. Here we go. This will help us get our regen, our endurance back up faster, because our endurance is our lifeblood here. I need to get Jackson's Jiggle Vigor, but where can I buy it? There is no bard vendor in Nariak currently. Maybe they'll add one in the future, but there is not one currently that I'm aware of. Maybe there is one, and if you guys know, let me know. But obviously, since Dark Elves can't be bards by default on any other game, they're not there. So I have to find my way into a town or a city that won't kill me, that has a bard guild, and hopefully the bards like me. That's gonna be a little difficult, but we'll overcome that soon, because I do need to get that spell. Oh, it's locked. I think there's a Shadow Knight in here, if I remember right. Yeah, there she is. I don't want to fall down that hole. I think putting some points into the increased mend would also be very useful. I should probably be putting some AA into that. I forgot that I was in balance. I need to get in striker stance here. And I'm like, why am I not knocking these guys over quickly? I always forget. There's so many things to remember and click and press with this, with the bard. And when you have multi-class. I mean, as soon as you have multi-class, you're like, oh, I've got 3 different characters to worry about, essentially. And their skills and their spells and whatever. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh boy, this is death. I got the whole thaumaturgist and everybody. Oh, we're gone, guys. There we go. Okay, back to the entrance. A little reset. Alright, we're going to regen up here in our balance stance and just wait it out. Oh, I got to turn on my song. See, I sit down. There's no reason to sit down in this game. There's no sit ticking. There's no advantage. You don't get decreased regen for sitting. So I'll just stand. Oh, another really important thing to note here is, you see, I've got a disease on me. And if you get diseased or poisoned, you know, normally you've got to get your spells out and ready for that. But the disease, any debuff, any detrimental effect on you, goes away after the mob that cast it on you dies. So you can see that they had, oh, I had a disease for a minute or more, or whatever it was. It's gone as soon as they died. I love that. It's great. But it also kind of makes like healing, cure poison, cure disease, and all that. You don't even need to put them on your bar. Maybe the only time you'd want to do that is like, oh, if you're doing a raid and some, boss or hard long fight where that poison or really ticking hard on you and you're, losing a ton of health because of it, sure, then that would make sense to have it. But when you're just leveling through dungeons, fighting your way, you do not need to worry at all about poisons or diseases or any of that. Alright, level 12. We got Brusco's Boastful Bellow. Okay, that's just a straight instant. Can I load that in to my song? Let's see. I don't know enough about a bard to know how these work. So let's roll it into our battle melody. This is 5, 6, and then we'll just do 2 at the end. So I guess it's just the direct damage does roll right into the melody. That's nice. I assumed it did, but I wasn't sure if it was like, oh, you got to activate that separately or something. Alright, we just joined up with this guy Chaos and we knocked down the footman who we wanted to kill. He didn't drop the sword, but he did drop the boots. I mean the gloves. Not boots when I'm an idiot. It's getting too late. %, that kill. That was fantastic on XP. Wow. Let's get those gloves on though. Where are they? Where's my gloves here? No. Why can't I? Hands, way down here. Where are my hands? Nice, 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 nice. Cool, now we're going to rotate back up and kind of kill the named. That's what he wants to do. That's awesome. Nice. Okay, say, look, we got another one of those Find Some Morning Stars, and now we can merge it. It's a +2. It'll merge with our other +2, and we get a +3, if you can see down here. Makes it stronger. It's awesome. Ooh, we got a rawhide tunic we can wear. Nice. Let's put that thing on. All right. Got whacked there. I took a few too many guys jumped on me. But I can't return to the bind point until the combat ends. You'll find out that you die a lot in this game because it's not that big of a deal if you do. So I'm not as careful or concerned about dying in this as I would be on Quarm. Because there's no XP loss, you know, anything like that. I can get right back down to where he is, no problem. We are back fighting the footman. Hopefully he drops the sword this time. It's a really nice sword. Especially when you get immersed a few times, it gets just so strong. Ah, more gloves. That's alright. We got some level. We get to level up our gloves. We picked up an extra member of the party now. Ooh, yep, there we got that morning star again. We should be almost a +4 on that. It's gonna be better than our weapon soon. Now I don't play a rogue and I haven't played a rogue on here yet, but there is something interesting to know about rogues. Their backstab is crazy strong, especially with striker stance. You're doing ooh, dang, got level 13. You get so much damage, and rogues have really cool set of poisons you can cast on yourself that are permanent buffs that just, you know, either do a slow or they'll do a stun, or they'll cause the if it's a caster mob, it'll cause the caster mob to have a 75% chance to fizzle. All sorts of really neat poisons. It's a great kit. And the other thing is the backstab is an omni stab. I call it omni stab, but it means you can stab from any direction. You can face, or people call it face stab, right? So it's pretty cool that you can just do whatever you want with backstab. It's stab from any angle. Omni stab, that's what I call it. But I have not played one yet. I haven't rolled one in, but I've been hearing about people playing it and reading what they're doing with it. It's pretty cool. I had thought about putting that in here, you know, maybe doing the bard monk rogue, but I felt it was too squishy. It was good to, I felt, well, let me add the warrior in there for a little extra tankiness, you know, and the cleave is really great too. Oh, we got the scythe this time, which is a nice two-hander. We'll just hang on to it. I don't know if probably won't use it, but I can bank it for later. Maybe I'll use it on some other class or something. So I want to come back and talk about what I was saying with the personal loot, where we're in a group and everything that drops, you know, everyone has is a random roll on what they're going to get on the loot table, which also, you know, you kind of like, you can encourage this grouping because you don't have to worry about, like, you just group together and play with other people that you run into. Don't worry about the loot. No, just, you know, ninja loot it. You don't have to compete. You don't got to roll off on anything. It's just get what you get. I was hearing about some people who were in here in Befallen. There was like 4 people because that's the max size group. And they were all just sitting at a camp, each of them. Like, one guy was at the footman, one guy was up there at that other lady, and there was some other name that they were all at. And since everyone was in a group, they would all get a chance at the loot. Even if one guy killed it, they would all get the window pop up like this. And so it was kind of cool that they were all just holding down a camp in a group. They're all getting XP. They're all getting, you know, sharing the loot. They're at least the chance to get loot. It's pretty cool. I like it. So it doesn't have to be competitive for camps, you know. Now, of course, that is if you're doing what I'm doing, which is in a public pick where anybody can come in here and do this. Can we get lucky this time? So far, we haven't been. I mean, I can't say it's all bad. We are upgrading over and over again, which is more stats, higher level glove. We like it. That's why I like this, the EQ Legend style of just, you know, if you're camping something, you're always gaining something, even if maybe it's not the item you want. You can level this up and maybe use it for an alt or something. Like, I keep getting these gloves. Now they're +4. Alright, we dinged level 14 there. I know I don't have a lot here, but just because we're rerunning the same guys over and over again. So we're just got them on farm. If anything interesting happens, if maybe that sword drops from the footman, I'll definitely highlight that and show it to you. It's pretty great. Oh, I also wanted to mention this. I completely forgot to say this. So if you're a caster and you've got spells and you're buying spells after 20, and even before 20, there's some you might want to get. You can pre-mem all of the spells. So you can buy like a whole bunch ahead of time and actually put them in your book. You just can't memorize them to your spell gem bar, your spell, yeah. So that's very nice. So you don't have to like, oh, every few levels I got to go back to town. It's like, no, you just buy a whole chunk of your spells if you've got the money for it. And money really is not an issue here. You earn so much money because you're always selling stuff. So yeah, pre-mem your spells, stick them in your book, and then you can just have access to them as soon as you get to that level to use it. I want to put this enchanted Fine Steel Morning Star in my offhand to start working on my blunt, even though it's the same ratio as the weapon I just took off the scimitar. But I need to get that blunt leveled up anyway. Also, if you haven't noticed, skills are you learn skills very, very quickly here. Obviously, they're very accelerated. The only one you don't get very quickly is what is it? Oh, swimming. Swimming for some reason is like on the old. The old skill gain. So I've noticed when I've swam and stuff that it's kind of slow. I'd say slow comparatively to the skills the skills in EQL that are really fast. You'll see weapon skills go up really quick. You'll notice every time you level, it's like all your skills really rapidly just go right to max, whatever you can earn for that level. Like within just a few minutes of fighting something, you'll be like, oh, I'm already capped for the level. So you don't even have to think about weapon skills or anything. It's great. Hey everybody, I think we're going to end the episode there. I could just keep going and going, but right at the end of that session there that you saw is when I had to get going, so I figured I'd record the end of this video and we'll end it at that point. I hope you enjoyed this really quick look into EQL beta. There's going to be a lot more videos coming. I know I did a lot of talking and not a lot of action in like the first third of the video, but hopefully you're still interested in listening to it. I'm going to do more with this character, of course, with Skeletane, kind of progressing through this bard monk warrior trio and trying to earn all my gear again. I know it's not the most pristine start. Again, we're going to do that in July. We're going to have a pristine start in July, start from scratch. But I know all of you guys are going to join along too. Any of you who are playing it are going to come along and play. So it'll be an experience we all get to share together. But there's more coming, more EQL beta content over the next couple months. I'll be putting it out with this character, and who knows what else I'll do. I might switch it up. I'm hoping we can also group up with some of the other YouTube content creators. And by the time you're seeing this video, you will also have seen our collaborative new Quarm series that we're putting out. That's coming out in a few weeks. And that'll be the first episode. I'm hoping to also play with those guys as well and on EQL. And we can group up and do some stuff. We'd love to take down like Nagy and Vox and bosses like that. It would be really fun. I haven't done that yet. That would be great to do on the video with our YouTube friends. So look forward to that. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for hanging around. Hope you enjoyed the EQL beta. Please give me any comments you want. I'd love to talk about EQL where I can. And we will see you in the next video. Take care.